Over the deadly police shooting of Daunte Wright. This comes almost exactly 1 year after the death of George Floyd. So what needs to be done to bridge the gap between police departments and the people they serve? CEO of the Brewer Group, Jack Brewer, grew up in Minneapolis and joins us now to react. Jack, we were just talking to you in the commercial break here, and I said to you, we've had this conversation before. You and I have had this conversation on this very show about bridging this gap between police and community, and it just seems like it's not getting better. Is there something else that can be done, or do we need to go another route with repairing relationships?
I think it goes far beyond just police and whether you're black and white, getting shot. I think this was a tragedy, and sometimes spiritually, the devil seeps in. And I think this is one of those times. I think that the police officer, this was an unfortunate thing, to pull out your gun and confuse it with a taser. Like, you just can't make that type of mistake. And for this young man, if my son ran from a police officer and went back to his car, he'd have to deal with me when he got home. And I think the basic respect for authority, just stand there and have your life saved. You got a kid. You just don't. You don't get into tussles with police officers. Like, it's just something that you don't do. My father taught me that. And so you gotta think, like, what are these kids being taught? But then you listen, think about the music that they listen to, and you see the culture that's been created. Not everyone's outside rioting and protesting. What good is this doing? We are not making any progress. This is a humanitarian issue, and humanitarian issues mean that you have to actually do some soul searching, right? Humble yourself, and when authority says something to you, do what they say.
Yeah. You talk about progress. The folks who are calling to defund police departments would probably say that their movement is making progress, but at the same time, 63 of the 66 largest police precincts saw an increase in violent crime in 2020. So, these movements to create widespread police reform are, by all accounts, really making inner cities less safe.
Of course they are. Look at a place like Minneapolis. I think they have murders and shootings up over 100% in that city over the course of the last year. I mean, come on. You think police officers aren't running around there scared, not wanting the police? I don't see how they're going to hire any more police officers. I know I wouldn't want to be a police officer right now in this society. Police officers aren't trained well enough. Obviously, this lady has been a police officer for I think 2 decades. For her to make a mistake like that is just a tragedy. It's not supposed to happen. But to sit here and say that it was because this man was black, I don't know about y'all, but I saw his picture. Unfortunately, God bless his soul, bless his family. But that boy doesn't look black to me from sight. There's no way you just look at that kid and say, oh, this is a black man, I want to kill him. I look black. You can probably see me and tell that my skin color is black, but that boy didn't look like he was just black. He could be any race. So I don't want to make this about race. We have to make this about humanitarianism and about humanity, and stop always pointing that skin color every time something happens, man. At some point, we got to come together as one blood like Christ taught us to, and put humility back into our kids. When authority says something to them, listen, save your life, listen.
Yeah, Jack, I can hear the emotion in your voice. And as we look at that picture of Daunte Wright and his young son, that's a young boy who's now going to grow up without his father. He's going to know the story of his father.
Another fatherless kid.
And he's going to...
Another fatherless kid.
And he's likely going to grow up.
And we got...
Sorry, go ahead.
70% of kids, 70% of black kids in America fatherless. Now there's another kid fatherless. Are all these issues pointing back to black and white and police and no, these are systematic issues. We need our fathers in our houses. We need to start making better decisions. We need to start taking care of our women when we have them. We need to create the family unit back in our culture. Now Black Lives Matter is going to go out there and raise hundreds of millions of dollars that they're going to go out and put in their own pockets and do nothing to really help the issues that are affecting black people and black kids, as these kids are stuck in these failing public schools that don't work. Our reading and math proficiency levels are at the levels of third world countries. We have so many issues in this nation, and now our president's going to get on the TV and he's going to flare the flames again and point and talk about Jim Crow and race. We have to stop it. Enough is enough. Everybody is not racist.
Yeah, well, your message is so important for everybody to hear, especially with tensions as high as they are right now and all of these tragedies unfolding across the country. Jack, keep on speaking out. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thanks, Jack.
God bless y'all.
You too.
God bless you.
Powerful words.